can't put it any better. Yeah, that's exactly right. That was we gave them the 3 points. That's the way I look at it. You can't convince me otherwise. For large parts of that game, we had a lot of opportunity to score. When we decided to go on the front foot and we were brave, we actually looked quite good. But again, we just didn't capitalise on those moments, and that's a poor goal to concede. Yeah, I think that one, and Collar's one where he's cut it back off the goal kick. It was like 10, 11 passes and we were out. So that was the disappointing part. Again, braver with the ball. We created the opportunities, and for a large part, especially in that first half, I felt as though when we played their game, they were quite aggressive on the front foot. They counter-pressed well. They had a little bit more energy. We just didn't match it.
And in terms of the game we're trying to play out from goalkeeper, and it's we saw the way we played last season. Can you just talk about the benefits of playing that way, because of any sort of risks of what happens if it doesn't come?
Well, the benefit was 5 minutes earlier we made a clear chance. Last season, I think we made a percentage off our goal kicks. It was like 30 to 40% of our clear chances all season. So we feel the vulnerability for oppositions are on goal kicks, because we feel like most teams defend poorly off goal kicks. And once you start baiting the fullbacks and centre backs to step out, then it becomes a transitional moment in dynamic. So we work on that all the time. So last year we had a lot of effect. I mean, there's a lot of times, the same thing could happen. But it's just, I'd rather that happen in the first minute than in the last minute, if that makes sense.
How do you pick Josh up after that? Because obviously you're wanting your goalkeepers to play that way.
Yeah. Well, I just have to double down and show the benefit of doing that. I mean, I think what we proved last year, it works quite well. It's effective. It's a common trend worldwide in football, and that's just the way I like to play. I'm not going to change it. In actual fact, there was enough chances today to show why we need to do it. So just need to speak to Josh, knuckle back down to some basics, and get his process right. And I'm sure it won't happen again.
I get the sense you felt like you did enough to get all 3 points today.
No, I don't think so. We made some clear chances. They had some chances. I'd say, look, I think they ended up with 18 shots. 6 were, I think 18, but I can't recall them ever getting in really behind. It was mainly set pieces and so on. I felt as though in the first half, and I was quite irritated at halftime, that when our starting picture, what we planned for, was set, we were very dangerous, and we could have capitalised, but we didn't make enough of those moments. And I think what ended up happening was maybe, I'm not sure if it's immaturity or a little bit, the moment, because it's a derby, it's the first time, the feel. It was a different dynamic to a semi-final, for example. I don't think the players played the moments well. They counter-pressed well. We got, we reacted to them rushing with the passes and so on. When there was 3 or 4 moments where when we settled, we get into our position, we actually looked really good, and that was the frustrating part. And in the second half, it was more about legs, I think, in the second half, and I think we got our second win. I'm not sure if it was around 65, and I felt, okay, we're starting to come back into this. They're stepping through, they're tired as well, and that we could get a chance here. And we had 2-3 good chances, but then what really hurt me, I think, or hurt the team, was I made a sub. Finn Conchi came off, and then I had to take Shez off my centre back. I don't like taking my centre backs off. So then I was basically filling holes. And then in terms of fluidity and what you work on, it can unravel very quickly. So the funny thing is with that goal kick as well, it's probably the first time ever I've ever told them to turn and go long, because I had a feeling, because I'd made that many changes, that because there were so many missing pieces in terms of our training setup, or players not practicing in that formation with those players, that it could break down, and they scored. So look, these things happen. We're going to learn. Again, I said a long time ago, the group is very far from where I want it to be. We're going to need games. We're going to need to, revisit a lot of ways we do things, and for me, even though we've lost, there's a lot of positives from the game. But again, I'm happy these things are happening now so we can address them. So then once we fix them, it's going to be very hard to beat us.
How different did this game feel to other ALeague games that this team's played in?
I just think the dynamic actually had a feel like, something's on the line. I'm not saying that most games don't have that feeling, but, you could feel, so many of our fans, people, local, like local businesses and so on, you talk that it was a pride thing. We spoke about that before the game. We spoke about it yesterday training. I try not to hype things up too much, but, there was that different feeling. So it was, apart from the last 3-4 minutes, it was nice to be part of because it actually, it had a good feeling.
And just a word on Alex Rufus' performance. I mean, late fitness test passing, and then he was immense today.
Yeah, he was great. I was a little bit worried around the 60th. I thought that he copped a knock, and we were talking about subbing him off, and he just rode through it. So, that's what I expect of my captain, to be brave and so on. So, yeah, I was very happy.
At what point did you think he could play? How much was that him wanting to play?
Just up until this morning, I made a late call, late fitness test, and he was in the team. So, yeah, I waited as long as I could. Not really. I just have to worry about Mariners and the other games first. So I think, from this game to the next derby, I hope to think that we'll be an improved team.
Thank you, Chief.
All good.